Are you tired of struggling with money, feeling like no matter how hard you work, you just can't get ahead? You set goals, you try to save, you've even tried affirmations, but deep down, something always pulls you back into fear, into lack, into wondering if things will ever really change. If that sounds like you, don't worry. You're not broken, you're not cursed, you're not bad with money, you're not failing at life. What you're experiencing is a scarcity loop, a pattern that's been wired into your brain over time, a pattern that can be unwired, reversed, and replaced with something powerful, an overflow mindset. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the science and spirit of how to rewire your brain for wealth, even if you've been broke your whole life, and we're going to do it together. Your brain on scarcity. Let's start with the facts. Scarcity is not just a mindset, it's a neurological pattern. When you grow up around lack or spend years living paycheck to paycheck, your brain adapts. It becomes hyper-focused on survival. The amygdala, the brain's fear center, gets triggered constantly. You enter fight or flight mode at the thought of unexpected bills, low account balances, or even the idea of investing in yourself. Scarcity trains your brain to look for problems instead of possibilities, react out of fear instead of creating from faith, stay small to avoid risk instead of expanding into your destiny. And here's the dangerous part. The longer you stay in this pattern, the stronger it becomes. Neural pathways, like grooves in a record, keep playing the same mental song. There's never enough. I can't afford that. People like me don't get rich. Better not dream too big. I don't want to be disappointed again. Sound familiar? You're not lazy. You're not lacking ambition. Your brain has just been trained to survive, not thrive. But we're about to change that. The loop that keeps you stuck. Think of your thoughts like roads. The more you travel a certain path, like fear, doubt, or shame, the easier it is to go there again. So when a financial challenge shows up, your brain automatically takes the old road. Here we go again, another setback. Just my luck. This is your default loop. And unless you interrupt it, you'll keep creating from it, even when you want something different. That's why traditional advice like just save more or work harder doesn't work if your brain hasn't changed. True wealth starts inside. It starts with your thoughts, your patterns, your identity. If you don't believe wealth is yours, you will sabotage it even when it shows up. You'll undercharge for your gifts. You'll delay starting that business. You'll feel guilty for spending money on yourself. But none of this is your fault. It's just a system, and every system can be rewired. The breakthrough moment. Now here's the moment that changed everything for me. I realized I had been fighting scarcity by trying to earn more money, but not healing the scarcity mindset that lived inside me. I was trying to fill a leaking bucket. No matter how much I earned, it would vanish. Bills, emergencies, debt, and then the guilt of not being further ahead. Until I stopped and asked myself, what if the problem isn't outside of me, but the programming running within me? And that's when I started to study the brain. I learned about neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to create new pathways. I learned that the same way I trained myself to fear money, I could train myself to trust money, to attract it, to hold it, to grow it. That was the beginning of my wealth mindset shift, and it's available to you too. What is neuroplasticity? Here's the good news. Your brain isn't fixed. It's flexible. You're not doomed to live the way you've always lived. Your current mindset is not your final reality. Neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to change its structure and function in response to your experiences, thoughts, and beliefs. That means every time you think a new thought, say a new affirmation, or take a new action, you're literally carving a new path in your brain. At first, it feels unnatural, forced, fake even, but the more you repeat it, the stronger it becomes. Eventually, what once felt awkward becomes automatic. This is how people go from broke to booked hidden, to highly paid struggling to secure. It doesn't happen by accident. It happens by intention. You rewire yourself for overflow. Here's what scarcity really sounds like. Let me give you a few real-world examples of how scarcity hides in plain sight. See if any of these sound familiar. I'm not going to spend money on that. I might need it later. I can't raise my prices. People won't pay that. I'll start the business when I'm more secure. I want to take that trip, but it's probably irresponsible. Must be nice for them. I wasn't born into money. These sound practical, but they are scarcity scripts. They sound logical, but they're based on fear. Fear of loss, fear of rejection, fear of disappointment. The truth is, you've been conditioned to think small, to play it safe, to sacrifice joy for the illusion of control. But now that you're aware of the script, you can start changing it. The first step to rewiring: awareness. Before you can create new thoughts, you must become aware of the old ones. Today, I want you to start listening to your inner dialogue. Notice when your brain says, "We can't afford that," or "I'll never make it." Don't judge it, don't shame yourself, just witness it. Awareness is the first step to freedom, because once you see the pattern, you can interrupt it, you can challenge it, you can replace it. In part 2, we'll dive into how to do that, how to start replacing scarcity thoughts with powerful abundance beliefs. But for now, I want you to sit with this. You are not the thoughts you've been thinking. You are not the patterns you inherited. You are not your past circumstances. You are a powerful creator, and your brain is your most valuable tool. Let's start using it to build wealth from the inside out. Now that we understand how scarcity forms in the brain, the question becomes, how do we break the pattern? How do we create new thoughts, new habits, and a new reality when the old programming keeps pulling us back? The answer lies in a simple, powerful formula: awareness, disruption, replacement, repetition. This is how you rewire your mind. This is how you teach your brain a new way to think, behave, and attract wealth. Let's break this down. Step 1. Awareness, seeing the pattern. You've already begun this step. By recognizing your scarcity thoughts. I can't afford that. It's too risky. Money always slips away. You've stepped into awareness. But we need to go deeper. Action step. Start a money thought journal. Every time you catch yourself thinking something fear-based about money, write it down. Example entries. I panicked when I saw my account balance this morning. I told myself I shouldn't buy the book because I need to save. I hesitated to raise my prices because I felt guilty. Don't judge these thoughts. Observe them. You are collecting data. Once you see the pattern, you take back your power. Step 2. Disruption. Interrupting the loop. Now that you've caught the thought, it's time to disrupt it. Why? Because your brain loves repetition. Every time you follow the old pattern, it strengthens. But when you interrupt it, you signal to your brain, hey, we don't do that anymore. Here's how. Use a pattern, interrupt phrase. Say out loud, that's an old thought. I choose something new. It sounds small, but it breaks the automatic loop and gives you space to choose again. Get physically involved. Do something different. Snap your fingers, stand up, shake your hands out. This physical cue tells your nervous system, we're shifting. Ask a disruptive question. What if the opposite were true? What would I do if I trusted abundance? Is this fear or is this fact? Your brain thrives on questions. Use them to plant new seeds. Step 3. Replacement, creating a new narrative. Now comes the most important part, rewriting the script. Remember, your brain doesn't just delete a thought. It needs a replacement. So if your old belief is, I'll never be wealthy, your new one might be, every day I am becoming more open to wealth. Notice that this doesn't have to feel perfect yet. It just needs to feel possible. This is key. If the new belief feels fake, your brain will reject it. But if it feels possible, even just 1% believable, your brain will start to make room for it. Here are some powerful replacement beliefs to try. I am open to receiving overflow. It is safe for me to be wealthy. Money supports my highest good. I don't chase, I attract. I get paid to be me. My gifts make room for me. Abundance is my birthright. Action step. Every time you notice an old thought in your journal, write a new belief right next to it. You're literally training your brain to switch tracks. Step 4. Repetition, making the new pattern automatic. This is where most people stop. They notice the thoughts, they try a few affirmations, then they say, it didn't work. But the key to rewiring is repetition. Your brain didn't learn scarcity overnight. It won't learn abundance in one afternoon. Just like going to the gym, you build new neural muscles by repeating new thoughts over and over. Here's how to do it. Morning mindset ritual. Before you touch your phone, speak 3 wealth affirmations aloud. Example, today I align with overflow. I expect miracles. I walk in wealth. Midday pattern interrupt. Set a phone alarm labeled wealth check-in. When it rings, pause, breathe, and ask, am I thinking in overflow or fear right now? Nighttime rewiring. Before bed, listen to a short abundance meditation or repeat your 3 affirmations again. Your subconscious is most open at night. Feed it abundance. Bonus tip: record yourself reading your favorite affirmations and listen while you sleep. Repetition plus emotion. New neural wiring. Real life example: from broke to belief. Let me tell you about Sarah. Sarah was a single mom who believed money was always going to be a struggle. She worked 2 jobs and still felt like she could never get ahead. When she started this rewiring process, she felt silly saying things like, "I am abundant." But she did it anyway. She journaled her fears, she interrupted the old thoughts, she replaced them with new ones, even if she didn't fully believe them yet. And slowly, things started to shift. She got a raise, she started a side business, she began attracting people who believed in her. Within a year, Sarah was living in overflow, not just financially, but emotionally. That's the power of neural rewiring. It's not about hustle, it's about alignment. This process doesn't require you to hustle harder. It requires you to align your mind, body, and energy with abundance. Scarcity makes you grind out of fear. Abundance invites you to create from peace. When you rewire your brain for wealth, you'll notice. You make clearer decisions. You attract aligned opportunities. You feel more confident raising your prices. You don't panic when things slow down. You trust the flow. You become the version of you who receives overflow naturally. Not because you forced it, because you became it. A daily practice to start today. Let's get practical. Here's a 5-minute daily rewiring routine you can start right now. Morning, write 1 scarcity thought you had yesterday. Then write its abundant opposite. Midday, pause and say aloud, "I am safe, I am supported, I expect overflow." Evening, reflect. Where did I think in abundance today? Celebrate it. Where did I default to scarcity? Gently shift it. Do this for 21 days and you will feel different. Your nervous system will feel safer. Your thoughts will feel lighter. Your actions will feel aligned. And most importantly, you will begin to see evidence of wealth flowing toward you. In part 3, we're going to unlock the most powerful piece of this puzzle, your identity, because no mindset shift sticks unless it becomes who you are. We'll explore how to embody the version of you who's already abundant and how to bridge the gap between who you've been and who you're becoming. But for now, remember this: you are not your past patterns. You are the author of your new reality, and every thought you change is one step closer to overflow. So far, you've learned to recognize your scarcity programming, to interrupt it, and to replace it with abundant thoughts. But this next part? This is where the magic truly begins. Because thoughts alone aren't enough. To truly rewire your brain for overflow, you must learn to embody it. You have to become the version of yourself who already lives in abundance. Not just think about her, not just visualize her, but live as her. Identity is the root of all behavior. Here's something no one tells you. Your brain won't allow you to consistently behave in ways that contradict your identity. You can say all the affirmations you want, but if you see yourself as broke, you will sabotage every breakthrough. Let me say that again. Your identity will always win over your intentions. So the goal now is simple, yet profound. Shift your identity. From "I'm someone who's bad with money" to "I'm someone who attracts and manages overflow with ease." From "I'm a struggler" to "I'm a steward of abundance." From "I don't deserve more" to "it's safe for me to receive more than enough." Meet your abundant self. Close your eyes and imagine this: the most abundant version of you. Where does she live? What does her morning look like? What decisions does she make with ease? How does she dress, speak, carry herself? How does she respond to fear, to setbacks, to money wins? That version of you, that vision, is not a fantasy. It's a blueprint. It's your subconscious showing you what's possible. And now it's your job to become her. The identity loop and how to rewire it. Your identity is shaped by 3 things: your thoughts, your behaviors, your environment. They all feed each other in a loop. If you think like your abundant self, you'll behave like her. If you behave like her, you'll attract what she attracts. And when you attract what she attracts, you'll believe you are her. That's the loop, and we're going to break in, right at the behavior level, because even if your thoughts aren't fully there yet, your actions can lead the way. Step 1, act as if, embodying the new you. Every day, choose to act like the version of you who lives in overflow. This isn't about pretending. This is about practicing. Ask yourself each morning, What would my abundant self do today? Would she check her bank account with curiosity, not fear? Invest in her growth? Say no to chaos and yes to peace? Raise her prices? Walk into the room with confidence? Every time you choose to embody her, you're wiring that identity into your brain. Even small decisions compound. You're not faking it. You're rehearsing a new truth. Step 2. Dress the part, yes, literally. Here's a fun, underestimated way to fast-track identity rewiring. Clothing, appearance, energy. How would your abundant self show up to a coffee shop, a Zoom call, a day off? Would she wear clothes that make her feel powerful, aligned, radiant? Would she carry herself with confidence and ease? Would her posture say, I'm here for abundance? Try this. Pick one outfit this week that makes you feel like your next level self, even if no one sees you, even if it's just for you. Why? Because your nervous system registers the shift. And when you look in the mirror and see the elevated version of you, your brain says, this is who we are now. Step 3. Align your environment. Let's talk about your space. Your physical surroundings tell your brain what to expect. They either reinforce your old identity or they call forth your new one. If you want to embody overflow, start curating your space. Declutter what drains you. Add beauty where you can. Light a candle, play music, place a quote by your mirror. Your environment doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to feel intentional. Remember, abundance is a frequency, and your space can help you tune into it. Step 4. Speak the identity into existence. Words create worlds. Start speaking about yourself as someone who lives in overflow, not just in affirmations, but in conversations. When someone asks how business is going, don't default to slow but steady. Try, I'm building something beautiful, and I feel aligned. When discussing money, try saying, I'm learning to manage overflow with confidence. This isn't about lying, it's about choosing language that reflects your becoming. The words you use anchor your identity. Step 5. Visualize with feeling. We've all heard about visualization, but here's what most people miss. The feeling matters more than the image. It's not about seeing a luxury car. It's about feeling what it's like to have freedom, safety, confidence, joy. Close your eyes. Imagine a moment of overflow. Where are you? Who's with you? What do you feel in your body? Let that emotion flood your nervous system, because when your brain and body feel it, even just for a minute, they start seeking ways to make it real. Real life shift, from pretending to becoming. Meet Marcus. Marcus was stuck in the fake it till you make it trap, but he felt like a fraud. He tried affirmations, he wrote goals, but nothing stuck until he started to embody his abundant self. He changed how he showed up to meetings, stood taller, spoke slower. He began visualizing himself shaking hands with big clients. He cleared his apartment of old clutter and replaced it with calming, intentional items. He stopped saying, I'm trying to grow a business, and started saying, I run a company I believe in. And within 6 months, his client list grew. His income doubled. But more importantly, he felt different. He no longer hoped for wealth. He expected it, because he had become the version of himself who naturally attracts it. Quick identity rewiring exercise. Each morning, write these 3 journal prompts. The version of me who lives in overflow does. Example, raises her prices unapologetically. One small action I can take today to embody her is, example, speak confidently in today's meeting. I am proud of myself for, example, choosing to trust instead of panic yesterday. This 5-minute routine builds your new identity one decision at a time. Final reminder, becoming is a process. You don't become abundant overnight. It's not a single mindset shift. It's a daily embodiment practice. Some days you'll feel powerful. Other days you'll want to shrink back. That's okay. The goal is not perfection. The goal is alignment, moment by moment. You already have everything you need to become her, because she's not some future version. She's who you really are, underneath the fear, the stories, the conditioning. And every time you choose her, you come home to yourself. Let's talk habits, because once you start becoming your abundant self, you need daily evidence to back it up. You've disrupted your scarcity programming. You've practiced stepping into a wealth identity. Now it's time to lock it in. through habits that align your mind, your energy, and your actions with the overflow you were born for. This is where abundance becomes not just a mindset, but a lifestyle. 1. The morning shift. Start in Overflow. Your first 15 minutes of the day set the tone for your subconscious. Most people wake up and immediately check their phone, dive into stress, or start reacting. But not you. You're rewiring. You're creating a new baseline for your nervous system, one of peace, gratitude, and expectation. Here's a simple morning overflow ritual. Step 1. Breathe and anchor. Sit up, close your eyes, breathe in deeply, 3 times. Say, I expect good today. I expect miracles today. I expect overflow. Step 2. Speak identity-aligned affirmations. Say 3 affirmations that align with who you're becoming. Money flows to me easily. I trust myself with wealth. Today, I magnetize opportunities. Step 3. Feel your future. Visualize one powerful scene where you're living in abundance and feel it in your body. Step 4. Gratitude activation. Write down 3 things you're thankful for right now. This process rewires your brain to expect wealth before the world gives you proof, because the proof comes after the belief. 2. Journal like you're already wealthy. Wealthy people don't just think differently, they track differently. They observe, reflect, make aligned moves. Daily journaling is one of the fastest ways to spot your limiting patterns and upgrade your wiring. Use these wealth reprogramming journal prompts. How did I show up like my abundant self today? Where did I shrink today? And how can I shift tomorrow? What would the wealthy version of me say about this problem? What beliefs about money am I releasing this week? Journaling creates awareness, and awareness is the gateway to transformation. 3. Practice conscious repetition. Your brain learns through repetition, so give it the messages you want it to hold on to. Just like learning a language or a dance, wealth thoughts must be practiced. Here's how to build conscious repetition into your day. Voice note. Affirmations. Record yourself speaking powerful wealth truths. Play it while driving or walking. Your voice plus repetition, a deep subconscious change. Sticky notes. Strategy. Place short affirmations where you'll see them. Mirror, laptop, fridge. Overflow is my new normal. I receive, I hold, I expand. Auto affirmation alarms. Set reminders on your phone with your favorite affirmations every 3 hours. This isn't fluff, it's neuroscience. You're retraining your default thoughts. 1 reminder at a time. 4. Handle money like it's already growing. You don't need $1 million in the bank to treat money like a sacred, growing energy. Your relationship with money now determines what money will feel like later. So start practicing. Checking your accounts from love, not fear. Say, thank you, money, for being here, even if it's $8. Rewire how your nervous system reacts. Bless every dollar you spend. Before you pay a bill, say, this money circulates and returns multiplied. Track income with joy. Even small wins, write them down. Celebrate. I am a receiver of overflow. Money goes where it's appreciated. Handle your $100 like you'll handle your $10,000. Because how you treat money now tells the universe what you're ready for next. 5. Upgrade the inner circle. Your environment shapes your wiring. That includes your relationships. If you're surrounded by people who complain about money, hate wealthy people, or panic about every expense, you'll absorb that. So ask yourself, who around me celebrates growth? Who sees wealth as a tool for good? Who helps me stretch, not shrink? If you don't have that circle yet, create it. Listen to Wealth Mindset podcasts. Follow abundant thinkers on social media. Join communities of people focused on expansion. This isn't about judgment. It's about alignment. You're rewiring your brain for overflow, and you need voices around you that support that frequency. 6. Close your day in overflow. Most people end their day by reviewing what went wrong, rehashing worries, or falling asleep to stress. But your brain's most impressionable state is right before sleep. So let's rewire that. Here's a 5-minute nighttime overflow ritual. Step 1. List 3 money wins, even tiny ones. I didn't overspend. I asked for what I'm worth. I stayed in gratitude. Step 2. Forgive and reset. Say, I release any fear or lack I felt today. I trust the process. Step 3. Visualize with gratitude. Imagine your abundant future self falling asleep. What does she feel? Think. No. Step 4. Declare it. Say, I sleep in peace, knowing wealth is already mine. This trains your subconscious to expect overflow, even in your sleep. Real life shift. Building a wealth routine. Let's talk about Jada. Jada didn't grow up with wealth. She was taught to fear money, to hoard, to hustle constantly. But she decided to rewire her reality. She started each day with affirmations in the mirror, even when she felt silly. She kept a money journal with her income, even when it was just $20 in tips. She listened to abundance meditations every night. She created a wealthy woman corner in her apartment, with a vision board, candles, and photos of places she dreamed of visiting. At first, nothing changed, but inside, everything shifted. And within a year, she tripled her income, started a side business that paid for her dream trip to Greece, and most of all, she trusted herself with money for the first time ever. Habits didn't just change her behavior, they changed her identity. Bonus. Wealth language upgrade. Start replacing low-vibration money language with empowered wealth talk. Old language, rewired language. I can't afford that. That's not a line for me right now. Money is tight. I'm expanding into more financial freedom. I hate dealing with money. I'm learning to love and master money. Rich people are greedy. Wealth can be a force for good. I never have enough. I'm opening to more than enough. These small shifts change your thoughts, your energy, and your expectations. Your daily overflow toolkit. Let's summarize the habits that rewire your brain for wealth. Morning identity ritual. Wealth, rewiring journaling, conscious repetition, audio, notes, alarms, loving money habits, spend, track, bless, aligned circle of influence, nighttime overflow practice, empowered money language. Do one, or do them all. Just do something consistently. Because transformation doesn't happen in one big leap. It happens in tiny, repeated, powerful decisions. End of part 4. Up next in part 5. Overflow activation. Taking inspired action and receiving like a wealthy soul. You've rewired your thoughts. You've built new habits. You're speaking the language of overflow. But if you stop here, you'll only go halfway. To complete the transformation, you must become a conduit for wealth. And that means this: you must learn to act and receive, like the wealthy version of yourself. Let's talk about embodied abundance. Let's talk about receiving. Let's talk about overflow in motion. 1. Inspired action beats. Endless hustle scarcity says, work harder, grind more, force everything. Abundance says, move with purpose. Trust the nudges, act from alignment. Inspired action feels different than forced action. It's that moment when you suddenly feel a nudge to reach out to someone. An idea drops in while you're in the shower. You wake up excited to build something that didn't exist yesterday. This is your intuition speaking wealth into motion. But here's the key. You must trust it enough to act. So many people pray for overflow, visualize abundance, script their future, but ignore the tiny prompt that says, post the video, email the client, launch the idea. Your job is to act, even before it makes sense, even if you're afraid, even if no one claps, even if it's messy. That's where momentum lives. And momentum is what multiplies wealth. 2. The power of micro movements. Rewiring doesn't require a complete overnight transformation. It asks for small, powerful steps daily. Micro movements compound into miracles. Try this. Start with a 10-minute daily wealth window. Use it to pitch, build, plan, or learn. Reach out to one person a week who's where you want to be. Ask, learn, connect. Choose one limiting belief to challenge this month and replace it with action. For example, scarcity. No one will pay me that much. Overflow. I will raise my prices and trust someone will say yes. The only way to prove your new story is to live it, one action at a time. 3. Become magnetic to opportunities. Once you rewire your energy, you'll notice something strange. Opportunities start finding you. People reach out. Ideas come easily. Money flows in random ways. This is no accident. When your vibration shifts, your magnetism increases. But there's a secret to receiving. You must stop sabotaging the flow. Do you ever downplay compliments? Reject help or offers. Say, I'm fine when you're not. Delay launching your idea because it's not perfect. That's resistance. True wealth comes when you can hold the goodness that arrives. Start saying, thank you, I received that. Yes, I'll accept the help. This opportunity came for a reason. The universe delivers to those who are open, not perfect, not lucky, just open. 4. Make wealth a relationship, not a transaction. If money were a person, how would they feel being around you? Ignored, feared, obsessed over, controlled? Or would they feel safe, welcomed, appreciated, and respected? Start thinking of money as a living energy. You're not here to chase it. You're here to partner with it. You want to rewire deeply? Talk to money. Bless it. Thank it. Ask it what it wants you to know today. You'll begin to feel more relaxed, creative, and open to expansion. And that's when money starts sticking around, because it likes how you make it feel. 5. Overflow isn't just about money. You're not just here to get rich. You're here to become whole. Overflow means overflow of time, overflow of joy, overflow of connection, overflow of energy, overflow of impact. When you begin to rewire for wealth, your whole life shifts. You stop begging for crumbs. You stop settling for just enough. You stop chasing validation, and you start building a life where you honor your worth, you trust your path, you make decisions from power, not panic. That is wealth. That is overflow. 6. Be willing to outgrow abundance. Often asks you to let go. To become the next version of you, you will have to leave behind. Scarcity identities, old friends who keep you small, jobs that no longer align, stories that kept you safe but broke. It's not punishment. It's permission. Permission to evolve, to expand, to stretch beyond what you thought was possible. Will it feel uncomfortable? Yes. But do you know what's even more uncomfortable? Staying in lack when your soul is screaming for more. 7. Overflow changes the world. Don't just rewire for you. Rewire because the world needs wealthy souls with good hearts. People who will pay others fairly, build beautiful things, give generously, rest fully, create new legacies. Your overflow feeds others. The more healed, grounded, abundant, and aligned you are, the more light you shine into places that need it. You are not selfish for wanting more. You are strategic. You know that money in the hands of a healed person is a miracle in motion. Closing manifesto, you are the wealth. You are not chasing wealth. You are not pretending to be wealthy. You are wealth, remembering itself. Every step you've taken to rewire your mind, every journal page, every affirmation, every scary action has built a new version of you. Now, it's time to live it. Speak it, walk it, claim it. Not someday, not when you're finally ready, but now. Because overflow doesn't come to the version of you that waits. It comes to the version of you that decides. Right here, right now. You are that version. Final wealth affirmations to repeat. Say them out loud. Let them imprint your nervous system. I am a magnet for wealth and aligned success. I receive money with joy, ease, and confidence. My abundance expands daily. I honor my worth in every action I take. Overflow is not a dream. It's my new normal. Now it's your turn. Drop a comment and say, I receive the overflow. If you're claiming this new reality, make it real by saying it out loud and writing it down. And share this with someone you love who's ready to break the chains of scarcity and walk into their wealthy era. Because the world is waiting for people like you. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're becoming. And the wealth you've been praying for has been waiting for you to remember who you are. You were never broke, just blocked. But now, you're free. This is your overflow era. Let it begin.